Good morning. I'm Rev Myron. I'm a minister through Pathways of Light, and I've been a Course in Miracles student for 40 years. I'm going through the lessons this year, asking Jesus to clarify for me. And then I write from that clarity, and that's what I'm sharing with you today. Earlier today, I shared review 6, the introduction, which is very important. So I encourage you to listen to that recording as well. Watch that recording. Alrighty, so let's get started. We're looking at lesson 201. It's our first review lesson for this section. I'm not a body, I am free, for I am still as God created me. I trust my brothers who are one with me. No one but is my brother. I am blessed with oneness with the universe and God, my Father, one creator of the whole that is myself, forever one with me. I am not a body, I am free, for I am still as God created me. Oh my, this is just so lovely. Everyone is my brother, and every brother is one with all the sonship. I choose to trust my brothers, not because their egos are reliable, but because within every brother is the same self that is within me. It is this self that I trust, and I simply disregard everything that is not reflective of that self. God created us as one self, forever one with him. It's very easy to make exceptions to this, sometimes by leaving out someone or by trusting some things about a person, but not other things about him. But the lesson does not say I trust some of my brothers some of the time. If I make exceptions, then I have undone this lesson. It's very clear that my brothers are one with me. An exception would infer that there is some separation, some small gap between us that would allow one to be different from another. The peace of God is complete, and so there cannot be a part of us that is out of accord with another part. By the same logic, if I am trustworthy in most cases, but in one case I am not, then there is no peace. This used to confuse me. Here's what it was like and how Jesus helped me. When someone says something that seems ego-based and is clearly not in accord with the Course, I notice and I think to myself that my brother is wrong. I do not trust them because I have decided they don't know what they're talking about. But I'm undoing the ego, so how can I not notice what they are saying? Am I supposed to agree with them when I clearly hear the ego? It feels confusing to me, so I asked Jesus about this. He helped me to look at one specific incident which would stand for the rest. A friend and I were discussing an idea in the Course on which we had what seemed like opposing beliefs. When I asked Jesus how I could see this differently, he told me to notice that I'd been thinking up defenses to my point of view all day long. I kept discarding each defense because I would notice that no matter how I couched the words, they felt like an attack to me. He reminded me that defense is attack, and a spiritual defense is still an attack. Jesus also reminded me that I could trust my brothers just as he could trust me. If there is any error in his mind, then I could trust that in perfect timing, he would allow a correction. He does not need my help. Jesus also helped me to see that my need to defend myself was pointing to an error in my own mind that needed correction. My dear brother was helping me to see that I was afraid to see opposing views, that I felt my own thought system threatened by the opposition. I quickly brought this thought to the Holy Spirit for correction, and he gently placed in my mind the reminder that I do not know anything, and this is good. The emptiness of not knowing provides a place for the truth to come. Not knowing is not threatening, rather it is inviting. I feel so grateful for all the help I receive. I'm grateful to my brother for helping me bring up this fear that I could bring to the truth. And I'm grateful for the peace which settles into my mind as I remember to trust my brother who is one with me. I am as God created me. And now, well, here's what I know now. My brother is simply as God created him, pure and perfect, holy and whole. Everything else is my own dream. When I see something in my brother that is not congruent with the truth of our nature as God's son, I'm confused and need to look within with the Holy Spirit. I can then allow the Holy Spirit to untangle my thoughts and remove what is not true. It makes me laugh at how I used to think my brother's seeming faults had anything to do with him. This doesn't mean the ego will not try to interest me in differences. This morning, as I was getting ready for the day, my mind was wandering. I started thinking about something I'd read concerning a change in the law and how that affected others. Suddenly, I noticed that I felt tense. I was so quickly, deeply into judgment of those involved that I had to stop thinking and let the Holy Spirit bring me back to sanity. It reminded me of two things. First, I cannot be as God created me if I lose trust in a brother and see him as guilty. My brothers are all as God created them, no matter what seems to be happening in their story. And the second thing I remembered is that I cannot be at peace if I allow the mind to engage in idle thoughts. This is just an invitation to the ego to judge and form opinions which separate me from others. Consistent practice is helping me move quickly from ego to spirit, and so from confusion to peace. So thank you so much for joining me in this lesson today. And if you found it helpful, please like it. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. And I will be back tomorrow with another lesson.